What's up, guys? This is the North Shore 9 podcast. Presental. You're watching the NS9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me tonight is Doug. Doug, the Pirates get absolutely embarrassed by the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. Final score 12-3. I was ready to, like, after that start, the first half of this game, Doug, I was like, you know what? I can't wait to get on the postgame show, talk about how, like, Paul Skenes looked outstanding today, because he did. But then the second half of this game, Doug, just completely unravels. The offense was just a complete joke tonight against Eric Lauer, and the Pirates bullpen once again absolutely blows up. Just a pathetic, pathetic performance tonight, Doug.
That was terrible. Skenes was fine, right? We got two, back-to-back home runs. And right, I was saying like you, it's like, hey, look, this team hits the ball over the fence now. They haven't done that in years. This is the kind of things that make the difference. And right, and then we get, a couple bad defensive plays. We get, just absolutely awful, bullpen pitching. Offense doesn't do, again, we're making a guy that came into the game with a 5.74. The best chance the Pirates have at winning a game in this series was this game, and they threw that away in 2 innings basically, and they made a ordinary journeyman, pitcher, look like Greg Maddux. It's just awful, terrible. I attribute most of it to Ben Cherington.
Oh, 100%.
His arrogance, his stubbornness, his patience, right? He's so sure that he's right, and his internal analytics tell you that Tommy Pham and Rowdy Tellez are just about to break out of it. It makes him think that this bullpen, it's similar. He thinks he put together a great bullpen, and it's just a matter of time before they perform like a great bullpen. And in the meantime, you're throwing away the season. You're throwing away games. You're throwing away victories. You're throwing away victories, and you're throwing away playoffs. And it's frustrating. There's no real other word. It's just really frustrating. And this is the first Pirate team in a while that has a chance of making the playoffs, and he's going to sit by, and try to wait it out, until the trade deadline or something. And it's just absurd. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done today, tomorrow, whatever. Before the next game, there should be some different relievers on this team.
I'm with you, Doug. It's got to be immediate. Like, we can't keep doing this. Shout out. Thank you so much, Michael B. He says, look, at this point, when every pitcher in the bullpen sucks, some starters have regressed. There needs to be a big focus on this new pitching coach. This cannot be a coincidence. I'm really depressed. Michael, I think we're all pretty depressed, frustrated, upset, angry, whatever adjective you want to use. But yeah, Alex had Alex Stumpf in his offbeat this morning. If you haven't watched it, make sure you do, because he went into detail about how, all offseason, even with these additions on offense, this team's identity was still going to be pitching. Like, they were going to win by beating you with their pitching staff. And the offense has shown up for the most part. They didn't show up tonight, but they've shown up for the most part. I think they're 5th in the league in runs scored, somewhere in that area. But it's this pitching staff that has taken a step back from where they were last year. They've taken a step back from where you need them to be. And today, I said, I want to talk about Paul Skenes at some point during the show, because I thought he was excellent today. But Wilber Dotel, who's been your best reliever for a while now. But, the fact remains, he's still a 23-year-old rookie being thrown into a role that he's doing for the first time in his career. And you get stuff like this when he's facing the best lineup in baseball. So it was, that 7th inning was just brutal. You put in, your 2 rookie relievers who you've called up, who have been they've been good for the most part. And it was ugly, Doug. It was so ugly. And the fact that the Pirates offense did absolutely nothing against Eric Lauer after those 2 home runs in the first inning, you just kind of saw this coming. You saw this coming where, like, as soon as that second run came in the 6th inning, which should have been a ground out to end the inning, right? Somehow it was rolled a hit. that will get changed to an E4. I can guarantee it. That
Yeah,
will
I
get
agree.
or it'll be an unearned run. But when the Dodgers tied that game up in the 6th and you go, "Oh no, it's bullpen time." At that point, I had zero confidence that the Pirates were going to be winning this game. None. So
I, I'm with you. I mean, once, like I said, they didn't jump on him when it looks like they had him on the ropes, and then he, after the 2 home runs, he retired nine, or went right through the lineup, just not like nothing to it. I'm like, we're in trouble because again, Paul Skenes is not going to go very deep in games. He just doesn't do that, and that bullpen was going to have to come in, and right, you can't expect Wilbur Dotel to pitch perfectly every time he goes out. He's a he's made 4 or 5 major league appearances. He's going to have some, bumps and bruises along the way. And the rest of the bullpen, there's nobody that you trust at this point. Soto to a point. Everybody else, you're like, I'm nervous. I'm scared. Maybe this will be the time he has it. Um, so yeah, it was. I mean, it felt like, I just felt like we were in trouble when we didn't score. Follow up and score on that. I was worried, and God, I clearly I wasn't worried enough because man, it got ugly.
yep. Thanks again to Steel Dog. He says from the bullpen last year to this is a complete embarrassment and a failure of Charrington and the pitching coach. And he says, by the way, Ozuna is a bust. I definitely want to talk about Ozuna at some point today as well. But yeah, I mean,
Big
this is something
RBI,
where like
big RBI, clutch moment. Bottom of
yeah,
the ninth, you're not going to
Charrington
run.
Charrington went out there and he did address the offense this offseason, right? Like that's what I'll give him credit for. And he put together an offense that up to this point has had a pretty good season. But like, yeah, like so far, completely unimpressed with what's going on with this pitching staff, Doug.
Right.
The bullpen is a disaster, just an absolute disaster. And it seem like doesn't seem like it's going to be getting any better because it is extremely difficult to make this team better with external options at this point in the year. Like that's just the fact of the matter. In order to get a relief pitcher at this point, you're probably going to have to drastically overpay. And even then, like there's just teams that aren't willing to part with people yet because they think they can still win, right? So it's going to be hard to do it externally. And yeah, like that's Ben Charrington's fault. He didn't do enough this offseason to get this bullpen into a point where you can rely on them. Again, like I don't want to harp on the bullpen too much because at the end of the day, the offense was still was awful today. And I want to talk about how they're awful against just these slop garbage left-handed pitchers every single time they face them, whether it's Martin Perez or Eric Lauer or whatever. They're facing essentially just these left-handed pitchers who quite frankly aren't even major league caliber arms. Like they've got ERAs in the 5s and 6s. They've been DFA'd 4 or 5 times throughout their career, and time after time left-handed pitchers are dominating this lineup. And I blame a lot of it on Marcell Ozuna for just not showing up at all this year. You need someone who from the right hand of the plate side of the plate who can hit lefties. He was supposed to be that guy and he just hasn't shown up. Michael B, shout out again. Thanks again. He says, I admit I thought Dotel was going to be good tonight. At this point, I don't know who in the pen I am happy to see come into the game. Also, I don't like these recent indie call-ups, too many automatic outs. I mean, Davis, Wenzel, whatever, like he's a guy. At this point, they need to do something. They have to. And the options, like you had as Merlin Valdez up here for a week or so. He showed you that he can hit lefties. I would much rather have him up here right now. Bring up Antoine Kelly. I talked about that on Monday. Like they got to do something here, Doug. This
season's going to get away, right? They're I've said it all season long. This team isn't good enough to throw away wins. But, it's like Ben Charrington thinks he's put a 100-win team together here. It's like, okay, 5 or 6 games here or there is fine. No, it's going to be a dogfight. This division is tough. We're obviously in a very tough stretch right now. Things don't get much easier, right? So yeah, it's something has to be done. I don't know. Can you overpay for Aroldis Chapman at this point? Should you overpay? I would say yes. I would say yes. I mean, again, I don't want to give away the farm, but man, bringing him in here would do something. There's got to be something you do. Like you said, you said on a Monday, you've been saying it for a while, bringing up on Antoine Kelly would be at least, again, if you're not going to get an external addition and you have guys that are doing terrible in your organization, swap them out for other guys. Not saying that, Bo Burrows is the answer or whatever his name is. I don't even know their names anymore. But yeah, Antoine Kelly. I'm not saying Antoine Kelly's going to come up here and save the bullpen, but I get the feeling he might be better than some of the guys we're throwing out here. And yeah, to your point on Ozuna, right? We can't hit lefties. You could bring out 65-year-old Jamie Moyer now, and he'd go 7 innings against this lineup. This kid tonight, Eric Lauer, he's not an MLB starter. He's a starter on the Dodgers because by and large, they're going to score 7 runs for him every time, and he can give up 4 or 5 a game. But the Pirates, again, made him look like, prime peak career Greg Maddux. And just going through them, not throwing hard, not doing anything special. And they're just up there. And golly, I mean, just, don't get me started on their challenges. It's stunning, it's just stunning how bad they are challenging, which makes sense that they can't hit because they can't recognize, a ball from a strike.
Doug, the 7th inning tonight, the Dodgers, every single player in their lineup scored in the 7th inning. The Pirates pitchers threw 68 pitches in the 7th inning. Wilbert Otel did not record an out. The 7th inning went like this, Doug. Single, double homer, walk single, walk, fielder's choice error, single, strikeout, walk, sac fly, single, line out. They brought, I mean, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 players to the plate that inning, Doug. Again, 68 pitches thrown. Just a complete blow up by this bullpen. And it's just, it's the same story, Doug. And this time it was Dotel and Bidwa. Santana,
it was just their turn, right? It was just their turn.
Yeah, it was their turn to get hit.
It just happens, and it's just too consistent.
It's just, yeah, man. Like they're 34 and 33 now. They're out of the wild card standings currently. They're obviously still in contention. Like it's June 9th. They're over 500, but this is 4 losses in a row. And seems to be
Shohei's pitching tomorrow.
Shohei's pitching tomorrow. But I want to get into, they're losing games that they should win. Right. They're losing games they should win. And you can't keep doing that. Like you can do it every once in a while. It's a 162 game season. You're going to lose games that you're supposed to win. But it seems like they're doing it once or twice a week, Doug.
Right, and it's adding up. And they're not winning games that they're supposed to lose. They don't come back. They don't walk people off. They're like 3 and 6 in extra innings. I mean, it's like you said, over a long baseball season, you were definitely going to blow some games that you should have won. But you also kind of, steal the rabbit out of the hat kind of thing. And we're not doing that. And we're just sitting idly by watching it. It's just stunning. I mean,
and
again,
now, there have been
season, we're going to be able to, and we missed the playoffs by 5 games. All right, we've already thrown away 10 games that we should have won, right? And obviously, at the pace we're going, it's going to be more. So you again, you point the finger directly at the general manager. Like it wasn't like and the other thing, we're not losing in different ways, right? We're losing the same exact way. The bullpen gives up and gives 170 runs, and we make a bunch of errors. I mean, it's just got to stop because the offense is performing way better than anybody anticipated. And that's even with Ozuna being a complete and utter bust. O'Hearn and Lau have done their thing, and they have picked up these other guys. And the offense has just been spectacular, especially compared to expectations. So, yeah. I mean,
Doug, yeah. The offense wasn't spectacular tonight, and I want to get into that a little bit right after we hear from Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
All right, Doug. Pirates get on the board early here. Like I feel like this was a really good start to this game. Bryan Reynolds, home run in the first inning. Ryan O'Hearn, homer in the first inning. Back-to-back homers. The second time that those two have done that this year. Feeling good. It's 2-0. Skenes got the first 3 outs of this game in like 9 pitches, right? Pitches. He looks like, yeah, you're like, okay, this is what I want to watch. This is the television I was hoping to see tonight. Well then, Doug, Eric Lauer and Will Klein combine to retire the next 17 Pirates batters after Jared Triolo got a single in the second inning on a ball that Andy Pages lost in the sun. So between that ball and a Jared Triolo walk in the 8th, the Pirates didn't get on base. 2 hours and 22 minutes of actual time, Doug, between Pirates base runners is what we saw tonight. And as I keep going back to, it's just every time this team faces a left-handed pitcher, they just can't get the job done. Like I said, Reynolds homer, cool. O'Hearn homer, cool. Cruz couldn't start today, got scratched because he was injured. He's actually been hitting lefties okay this year, like actually very well. He's been hitting them.
Very good.
Lau hasn't been great versus lefties, but it's like, okay, whatever. He's hammering righties, right? But you signed Marcell Ozuna to a $12 million contract this year to be a designated hitter. That's all he does. He doesn't play the field. He doesn't do anything else. He can't run the bases.
He can't run.
He can't do anything except you're paying him $12 million to hit. That is what you are paying him to do. Doug. Through 205 plate appearances in 2024, this is per Alex Stumpf, Rowdy Tellez had a 617 OPS. Tommy Pham, through 207 plate appearances, 603 OPS. Marcell Ozuna, through 205 plate appearances, a 572 OPS.
And Tellez played first base. He wasn't elite, but he did do something else. And Tommy Pham was giving Gold Glove level defense in the outfield. Right. He was, I think, number 1 in defensive runs saved, or at least at that point of the season he was. You're getting nothing from this guy. And when he does get on, he clogs up the bases, right? If he hits it hard enough, basically to the wall and gets to first base, the next couple guys, someone has to hit a double, doesn't score him from first. There's a good chance he's getting thrown at home on a double if he's on second, right? I mean, he's. I've tried to be patient. The guy's been a hitter his whole career. He struggled last year with his injury. I mean, he just doesn't have it. Now they are benching him more often, but like you said, you've got Esmeralyn Valdez sitting down there who can hit lefties, and
homered again tonight, by the way.
Yeah. He's hitting home runs in Indy.
He was also hitting home runs in Pittsburgh, Doug. Like,
yeah,
he was up here for a week and he hit 2 homers. Like,
yeah. It's again, it's another one of these. I don't know who they're trying to prove to what. And again, to me, it's just Ben Cherington's arrogance. I made a great signing, and I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to ride it out, and it's not, it doesn't look like it's getting any better. And you have a better option right down there in AAA, right in your organization, on the 40-man. You don't have to go out. You don't have to, put anybody through waivers. All you got to do is make a phone call, and he's up. I'm not even saying you don't even have to necessarily DFA Ozuna. You could just play him less and less and less. I mean, it's ridiculous. And he's batting 5th. So I don't know if that's on Ben or if that's on Donnie, but I guess
Wenzel was your Davis Wenzel was your number 6 hitter today, Doug.
Yeah, because you've got Triolo and Jake Mangum and Henry. But that's part of the problem. Like Henry, your right-handed hitters don't hit, right? I mean, it's not just. Triolo doesn't hit, Henry doesn't hit.
Yep.
It's just awful. Again, it's another really bad thing. It's a big hole in the lineup, and especially when you don't have Connor Griffin in there and you don't have Cruz in there. It's the lineup doesn't have the depth. If those guys aren't playing, and it's rough. Somebody had said in the chat, it was Michael in one of his super chats that these Indy guys are automatic outs. It ain't just these Indy guys; it's some of these Pittsburgh guys too.
Davis Wenzel's the only Indy guy in the lineup.
Yeah.
So
it's Davis, Triolo. It's guys that have been in Pittsburgh for a couple years now.
They're guys. But Doug, like Marcell Ozuna, he had a ball hit today, deep into the hole. Mookie Betts makes a diving play in shallow left field. He's 10 feet into the outfield grass, Doug.
Yeah. Oh,
Doug,
he was in left field, right? Yeah.
Doug, I'm 39 years old. I'm not in great shape. You're what? Pushing.
I turned 108 this week.
I turned 108 years old.
I promise you. I challenge you.
You and I could have beat out that ground ball.
Any player in Major League Baseball, Mookie Betts wouldn't even attempted to throw. He would have scooped that up and he would have held on to it. And the announcers would have said, "What? That's the right decision because there's no way you're going to throw him out. You're only risking error." He could have walked it over to first.
He two-hopped it. It hopped twice, and he got him by a full step. Yeah. It was nothing I've ever seen before in my life. Yeah. It was like how I don't understand how anyone who is being paid money to be a pro athlete could get thrown out on that play. And so, I'm done with it. Like, I don't know what the answer is because they clearly he's getting paid so much money. You invested so much in him. They're not going to DFA him as much as we want them to DFA him. They're not going to do it right now.
No, it's not. They don't DFA $2 million guys or $4 million. When he signs a free agent,
they're just not going to do it.
Yeah, and if you ask him about it, he'll tell you their internal analytics will tell you he's going to produce. It's going to bounce out, and we know it's not.
The only answer with Marcell Ozuna is to play him very sparingly and hope that he starts hitting because that's it. Like they're not going to DFA him as much as we want.
And again, it's his arrogance and stubbornness. And I imagine the money is part of it.
I don't think it's that. It's the money. Like they're paying him $12 million. It's a small market team. They're not just going to eat it. Like they won't do that. I think Ben, if you ask them, would tell you, yeah, that Ozuna signing, it's bad. Like that was a bad signing. It's not working out. But he's not getting it done, Doug. And he's not the only one. Like there's others. Henry Davis needs to be better. Jared Triolo's like the worst hitter I've ever seen in my life at this point. Like there are a lot of guys who need to be better than they are. But Ozuna was someone that you signed to produce, and he's just not doing it.
Right. You said, and I'm not, like you said, he could very well be the best hitter on the team. And we all agree with you. I'm not trying to single you out. Like that's what we thought. We thought, we thought we were getting a legitimate hitter. We thought we were at least getting last year's. And we said, he's still one of the better teams and better hitters on the team. If he hits, 17 home runs or whatever. And I mean, he's now, by no contest, the worst hitter that Ben Cherington's ever signed when you add the value. Like, I mean, I guess some of those other guys were
by far.
Yeah.
All right. Let's end this on a somewhat positive note. I wanted to talk about Paul Skenes tonight, Doug. He's been getting a lot of shit lately, and I think it's not warranted. Like, is he as effective as he was last year? No. But like, I feel like he's getting very weird things are happening when Paul Skenes is on the mound this last month or so, and it's just leading to some small sample size noise. Like, the defense has been completely pathetic behind him. It's making him throw a lot more pitches than he needs to. But I want to talk about tonight's start because, Doug, it was the best I've seen his fastball in a long, long time. It was unhittable tonight, Doug. It was unhittable. He threw it 48% of the time. It generated 28 swings. It was a 43% whiff rate. He had 19 swings and misses on the night tonight. He threw more sliders today than he normally does. He lowered kind of the usage on the sinker by quite a bit tonight. But the Braves, not the Braves, the Dodgers they were swinging through his fastball all night long. And I thought it was a great start. It was unfortunate the way it ended with that second run because he did enough to get out of that inning with just 6 innings, 1 run. But Lau didn't play that grounder outstanding. It took a tough hop on him and ended up in right field. But one of his better starts. And you have to remember that he did this against this Dodgers lineup that has 1, 2, 3 former MVPs, another one who's been like a top 5 MVP guy multiple years. Like, this Dodgers lineup is insanely good. And he did a really, really good job navigating that lineup tonight. And he deserved better. He deserved better than what happened.
Yeah, the defense has been awful behind him. I mean, I agree with everything you say. But let me ask you this. If you're Paul Skenes and you have all this talent, you've got this repertoire, this arsenal, this command, you have all these things, and you know what this defense is behind you, and you know what this bullpen is, wouldn't you change your approach? Wouldn't you try to be a little more efficient? Wouldn't you try to get to 7 or 8 innings knowing that if you leave it with 3 innings, that chances are you're in trouble.
Well, I think he's trying to, like, Paul Skenes doesn't want to leave games in the 6th inning. He would much rather go a 7th or an 8th inning. This is a really, really good lineup, Doug. So, like, 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. Like, he pitched. It was a great start. It was a great start tonight.
It was, but he went 6 innings.
Yeah, he went 6 innings. If you do that 32 times, you're going to be 2nd in the league in innings pitched. Yeah. Like, I think people, and I understand where you're coming from, like, because I hear it a lot. Like, every time we post something on social media, it's flooded with he doesn't pitch deep into games. If you look at the start of last season to today, he's 5th in the majors in innings pitched. It's like, I understand, like, you get frustrated because it's 6 innings. 1960 anymore. This isn't 1970 anymore. That's just how baseball is now. Starting pitchers,
but that's my least favorite. Least favorite, because
I get it. But
the Pirates are one of the worst teams with one of the lowest payrolls. They can't play the same baseball that every other team.
Doug, if this were 1960, Paul Skenes would have pitched 8 innings and he would have thrown 140 pitches, right?
Yes.
But it's not like that anymore. There's a 100 pitch limit. He threw 103 of them. He's out. That's just how it is.
1960, all the teams had similar payrolls. All the team had similar circumstances. The Pirates cannot play baseball like other teams play baseball. Doug, if they want to win.
That's just how it is, right? And you're not going to see pitchers throw 140 pitches ever again.
I don't
because
want
there's
him to
too
throw
much
140
money.
pitches.
There's
I
too much
understand.
money involved. They're just not going to do it. Paul Skenes has been healthy this whole time. He's never had a trip to the IL. Whatever they're doing with him from a usage standpoint, it's working out just fine. My problem is that when you have the best pitcher alive on the mound ever since he started being in the major leagues, you're a 500 ball club since the start of last year. You're not capitalizing on the talent that is on the mound, and it's a myriad of ways. They're losing games because they're not hitting the ball enough with him on the mound. They're losing games because the bullpen is blowing it. They're losing games because the defense sucks. But Paul Skenes, over the last 2 years, Doug, a 500 record with him on the mound. 500. He won a Cy Young last year and had a 1.97 ERA. This year, granted, it's a step back, but he's a 2.84 ERA, Doug. This is prime Pedro Martinez territory he's pitching in right now. Like, you need to win these games. And I don't care how you do it. They're not doing it. They're just not doing it. They're not hitting enough. They're not fielding enough. They're not relieving him well enough. And I am tired of people blaming Paul Skenes and his 2.84 ERA. Like, are you guys, I'm sorry, you're kind of crazy right now. You're crazy. It's 2.84. Like, get real.
If I'm Paul Skenes, I'm trying to pitch more innings, and I know I have to do it within 100 pitches. I'm not asking that he pitches 120 pitches, 140 pitches. I'm asking that these 3-2 counts, a bunch of foul tips, then get a strikeout, and then we celebrate his whiff rate. Throw a grounder. I'm sorry, just throw. He had a 9-pitch inning in the first inning. That's what he needs to do. I understand it's Dodgers. I understand you can't do it every game. I understand some of it's out of your control. I understand that this team, whose pitching is a strength, has been built poorly to support that strength. We're, like I said, our third baseman is a second baseman. Our shortstop is a third baseman. Our outfielders are DHs. It's rough, but generally speaking, the infield, is decent. When you've got Harwitz playing, Brandon Lau's been better than we thought. And Trielo's, Connor Griffin is better than average at short. So throw grounders. And I know it seems like every time he throws a grounder, Nick Gonzalez, throws it away. So I understand there's anecdotal evidence. It's not all on Paul Skenes, but I think Paul Skenes is talented enough. I think he's smart enough. I think he's gifted enough that he could navigate a lineup a little more efficiently than he does if that's what his focus was.
No, you should go tell him that. Say, hey, Paul, I need you to pitch deeper into games.
I'd love to tell him that. I'd love to have that conversation. Unlike you,
all right,
Paul,
Doug.
Appreciate some wisdom from an elder who is to be respected, sir.
A much older. All right, Doug. Tomorrow, the Pirates. Hey, it gets easier, right? Nope. Shohei Ohtani on the mound tomorrow. Against Jared Jones. The Pirates are heavy underdogs, plus 164 money line on FanDuel. Jared Jones, the last time the Pirates won, it was a Jared Jones start. He went out there and he pitched 5 scoreless innings.
Yeah, he did a good job his last outing.
They're going to need it again.
Yeah.
Like they're going to need it. They're going to need it again. This is a 4-game losing streak now against the 2 best teams in the National League, and you got 2 more games against these guys. You got to figure out a way to stop this skid. You can't lose all 6 of these games.
You can't go 0-for-6, right, and tell yourself you're a playoff contender, because it'd be very Steelers-like if this is what you make the playoffs and get swept out of the first round. That you don't want that to happen. Jared Jones needs. But I mean, you know what you're getting from Jared Jones. You're getting 5 innings. I mean, that's probably preordained. It's probably already decided, regardless of how many.
It's probably Jared Jones, Carmen Majinsky. Yep, that's what we're going to see tomorrow.
Yep. But they've got to get to Shohei and not too many. Henry. Well, Henry probably won't even be playing. his wife is due, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. So Rafael Flores Jr. was called up to the taxi squad. Henry Davis and his wife are expecting a baby like any day now. So my guess is you'll see some sort of roster move here soon. Davis will go on paternity leave. I guess paternity list. It's not really leave, but he'll go on that paternity list here shortly. But
according to Bucko Mike, she's been pregnant for 3 seasons, and he's got a little bit of the Bryan Reynolds prego situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've had enough. Yes, I appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate all you guys in the chat, especially Michael Steel Dog with the super chats. You guys are awesome. I said everybody watching, listening after this game. This was a rough one. This was a rough game, and there are glaring holes on this team that need fixed, and it's up to Ben Cherington to figure out a way to fix them before this continues to spiral. But we'll be back tomorrow with another post-game show. We'll also have another offbeat tomorrow morning with Alex Stumpf, so make sure you check that out. Again, if you haven't watched his one from this morning, he talked a lot in there about how this pitching staff has just taken a step back. So make sure you check that out. And again, every Monday through Friday, he's got a nice 15-minute video, audio, however you consume us. Make sure you check that out every morning.
And see you Saturday.
See you Saturday at the tailgate. All right, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the page. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go, Bucks.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.